What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Another episode of HKB Podcast coming to you live. Thanks, everyone, for joining. You know what to do. Shout out. Let us know where you're at. Share this, like this, do all that good stuff. Give me an audio check. Let me know you can hear me. Thumbs up in the comments. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're excited to have you guys, and we're excited to talk about what is going to be an awesome 2021 season. Let's see here. Got comments rolling in loud and clear. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that so much. I know a lot of you are going to watch this after the fact or listen to it. But for those of you jumping on live, we appreciate you so much. And those listening afterwards, thank you as well. It is a Thursday evening, and we're ready to kick things off. The season has begun here in the state of Indiana with the couple of month-long or season-long challenges. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit, and we've got some tournaments kicking off very, very soon. So I'm excited about it. This is going to be fun. But please share this podcast. Share Here's Your Kayak Bassin. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Our goal is to grow the sport in Indiana, grow your local club that you're a part of, get people involved, and get people out on the water. So please help us out, share this, like it, comment on it, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe on YouTube. You know what to do. We appreciate it so much. Matt Kiefer saying it's a little dark in the studio. Yeah, it is. It is a little dark. You're right. Setting the mood, you know. We got very intimate conversations happening tonight. So about the 2021 tournament season. All right. Let's see who else is jumping in here. Troy Stinson in the house. I need to fish. I hear that, man. I need to catch fish. I've done some fishing. I'm not catching any. I need to get some. So let's talk about some of the tournaments coming up. Let's see what we got here. Snagging bass and Wi-Fi from, okay, all right, out there fishing the Hobie event. So pretty cool. A lot of big things happening. I just personally got back from a big tournament down there in South Carolina, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about that tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest for tonight. Someone's going to help me out a little bit here, talk about this jam-packed season we have, and that is the voice of Grubby Talk. If you're not familiar, Mr. Brian Spray, let's get him in here and get you introduced to him. What's going on, man?
Hey, it wasn't a dream. Hi, Sam.
What's going on, buddy? Sorry to keep you up so late.
Anything for you, man. Anything for you. Yeah, it's way past my bedtime.
I hear you. I just put the kids to bed, which means I got to try and get some more work done, including this podcast. But man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I could use some Z's and I could crash right now. But I am excited about tonight. I get excited about all these podcasts, but man, there's so much going on this year, and I don't think even some of the seasoned guys realize what you can do in the state of Indiana this year.
You and I did a quick rundown of what we're going to talk about tonight, and I am amazed at how many opportunities. If you can't find something fun to do in the world of kayak fishing in Indiana, then you're just not paying attention. It's you could toss a rock out your window and hit a tournament. I mean, that's all the opportunities that are happening in Indiana. All across the board and all the groups. It's incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, you're right. And we're going to unbox all that this tonight, right now. You know, everyone loves a good unboxing video on YouTube. You know, that's like been the most popular trending thing for like the last 2 years in the fishing realm. So we're going to do an unboxing of sorts tonight, and we're going to unbox everything that's going on here in the state of Indiana. The clubs, the series, the trails you can get involved in, the prizes you can win, the things you can qualify for. You know, we're going to go through the schedules. We're going to go through it all as fast as we can, but by still hitting all the key points for everyone. And I couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for joining me for this.
I have a feeling you probably could, but hey, at least you've got somebody to bounce some ideas off of.
There you go.
So,
Well,
right.
I could tell you as I get to Grubby, grassroots bass yakking, you are the voice of Grubby, and it's going to be very helpful during that period to have you to help me cover, because man, that is a huge schedule, a huge club, and it's got a lot going on. So
we'll talk about it more later, but yeah, this group has grown leaps and bounds in the last 2 years, and it's fun to be a part of.
Absolutely. Well, guys, one more time, if you would please, for me, give this a like, give this a share. Make sure to drop some comments in there. Let us know if you have any questions throughout this. We'll try and answer them. If we don't get to them during the podcast, we'll try and hit you up on those things afterwards. Huge shout out to tonight's sponsor. You see it on my shirt. You see it on the hat. It's over there in the corner somewhere. King Angler Rods is tonight's show sponsor. And what an amazing product in King Angler. If you're not familiar, King Angler rods are American made, handcrafted by Kyle King, local guy out of the Ohio, Indiana border area right there. He does a lot of fishing locally, supports the local community, and builds an outstanding American-made handcrafted rod. Taipan blanks. I believe they're out of Arizona, if I'm not misspoken there.
I think that's what I heard when I talked to Cole recently. Yeah.
Yep. And high-end components, high-end rod blanks. This is not your average run-of-the-mill rod. These are great rods, and they're handcrafted and built by a kayak angler just like us. Check them out, King Angler Rods. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram, and we'll share a link in the descriptions if you're watching on YouTube, as well as the post afterwards, so that you guys can check him out and his website. Kyle King, King Angler Rods. Thank you so much for supporting Hoosier Kayak Bassin in our local fishing community. And with that being said, let's move into the first tournament of the 2021 season, kicking things off. Now, live tournament. We do have a couple challenge series going on. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. Those started the first of the month. Yeah. The first live tournament of the season kicks off next weekend. This is an invite only, okay? So,
I can't show up.
Well, you can't compete. You can show up and watch. You can show up and applaud and cheer on your favorite anglers.
Okay.
But you cannot compete if you did not qualify last year. And we're talking about HKB State Championship, inaugural one, first one.
Yeah, and what a great job you did putting this together. It's so exciting. Bring through all the champions AOYs from all the series in Indiana from last year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about it. I got to apologize. Last week we didn't upload a podcast as I said we would. Again, going back to a horrific trip, which was South Carolina, Lake Murray. Kudos to KBF. They did an amazing job at that event. I just sucked it up. But
you get some good exercise in, though, right?
I did get it. I got some sunlight, some exercise. I got to hang out with some good. It wasn't all bad. And I will say, KBF put on, out of all the KBF events I've been to, the best one yet.
Yeah,
they had amazing captain's meeting for us on Friday. Food and drinks provided. Had an awesome tournament headquarters for us at a really cool local brewery, live music, food. It was amazing. Outstanding job. So huge shout out to KBF and Experience South Carolina. They did an amazing job.
Chad knows how to throw a party.
He does. I've spent a lot of time with Chad, and he surprised even me with this one. He did good. So
Great.
But back to Indiana, back to the state championship. Last week I said I was going to upload a podcast talking about how to qualify for the state championship. We're going to talk about it just very briefly, really quickly. So 2021, first year, next weekend, we're hosting the first ever state championship. You know, it's one thing to win an AOI in your local club or series. It's one thing to grab that championship. Those are things that, you know, are super powerful and important. And everyone's, you know, going for it. But we've never had in the state of Indiana an opportunity to call yourself a state champion. There's some other states that have this in the kayak industry, and in the bass boat world, you see this, but we haven't had that in Indiana. And I'm definitely not saying I came up with this. I know this has been a talking point for a while amongst some of the admins and anglers in the state. But I did feel like I had an opportunity to, you know, partner with some of the people that I work with and have relationships with, and put something together. So last year, I reached out to all the admins in the state, and we got together and formulated this idea, if you will, of putting together this joint state championship. So how do you qualify? Well, last year we qualified anglers through all of our major series here in Indiana. Kayak Anglers of Southern Indiana, SIAC, Southern Indiana Yak Anglers Club, right. Indiana Kayak Anglers, Grassroots Bass Yakin, and the KBF Challenge Series. We're going to talk about all those clubs tonight. So what we did is we took the AOYs and champions. If they only had an AOY or if they only had a champion, we took that, right? Of every series, including all the individual Grubby series. So we have 14 anglers who qualified last year for this event, and they're going to duke it out on Summit Lake.
It's a true state championship. I mean, you're taking all the groups, all the series, and put them together and bringing the best of the best, and having a true state championship. I love it. I love the concept. Love the idea.
Yeah, and we're super excited about it. We have some amazing partners and sponsors, and we got a lot to talk about tonight, so I don't want to spend too much time on the state championship, because next Thursday, we kick this all off with kind of a pre-show, pre-tournament pre-show. Thursday night, we're going to talk about the state championship a little bit more, and then Friday, we're going to have coverage, hopefully some on the water coverage. The ramp coverage. We're going to have to see how the weather plays out.
Yeah.
But we definitely will have our Night of Champions broadcasted, which is going to be a cool event where the anglers get to come in and get food and drinks and prizes from our sponsors and a moment to talk. And we're just going to award them for hard work. And that's all taking place at our venue and sponsor, 1000 Degree Wood Fired Pizza there in Mount Summit, Indiana. So huge shout out to them.
Yeah, that's great. And it's going to be at Summit Lake is the lake, right?
Summit Lake. Yep. Correct. Official practice is Friday, tournament or Night of Champions Friday night. And then the tournament takes place Saturday, Sunday, 2-day tournament, best 5 fish both days. And we're going to crown a champion. We're going to have an amazing time doing it, and I'm excited about it.
Is there a seeding chart? Have you seeded the competitors? Like who's number one? Who's number 14?
There's no ranking. You know, we didn't do that.
Okay.
You know, that is something to think about for next year, though. But no, we definitely
it'll help the betting odds. So if
it could, yeah, absolutely.
I thought about becoming a kayak fishing bookie next year. So
okay. Hey, there's plenty of events, so you can do it. So what I will say about the state championship, one more piece on that. Make sure to tune in next week, guys. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're gonna see a ton of stuff, and you get to cheer on some of your favorite local anglers. But here's what I will say tonight: as we go through these different clubs and series, all of these clubs, all of these series are going to qualify anglers next year for the state championship. All right. So listen up very closely to each of these series and how you can get involved and have a shot at an AOI or a championship. We're going to take AOI from all the Grubby series. We're going to take AOI from all the other trails and series and champions. So plenty of opportunities to get involved. And trust me, this year's big. Next year's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
When it comes to the state championship. Yeah. So get ready for that. Plus Grubby's got another series now, trail series, we're going to talk about here in a little while, also going to qualify someone through that. So
I don't think I knew that. That's awesome. So the
Yeah.
trail series is getting a guy in there too. Great.
Absolutely.
I've got a chance at that. I'm going to be in the trail series. That's my only chance. But
there you go. So when we get to Grubby, we'll talk more about that. But that is the state championship.
Awesome.
At a glance, if you will. So I have another big announcement to make tonight.
Okay, go for it.
I'm excited about this one. A lot of people have been asking, are you going to bring back the Turkey Bowl?
What?
And if you guys listen to my episode that I just did with Paddle and Finn about the state championship, that was on Monday night, I talked about this a little bit. The Turkey Bowl is coming back this year.
Woohoo!
And
it was gone this year because of COVID?
It was, yeah. So as we got closer and closer to this tentative date that I'd put out there, always knowing it was a possibility it wouldn't happen, it got very hard with venue support, and there were some other things, and I had to pull the plug on it.
Absolutely.
But this year it's happening. No matter what, we're doing it one way or another. We're having the Turkey Bowl, and tentative date, guys, mark this down on your calendar. It's almost set in stone, but tentative date will be November 6th. November 6th, the weekend of November 6th. And that is a Saturday. So previously we had it on a Sunday. We're going to have it on a Saturday. Also,
that sounds awful cold, Sam.
Man, you know what? It didn't get cold until February this year.
This year? What about next year? Can you promise me?
I can't promise you anything.
All right.
But what I will say to help with that, what we are going to do, previously the Turkey Bowl has always been held at Geist.
Mm-hmm.
We are moving this event this year. It will not be on Geist. It will be more southern central Indiana. I've got a few places in mind. If you think about it hard enough, you can figure it out. We're looking at potentially Monroe, potentially Patoka, and there's another area a little further south that is also in consideration for the Turkey Bowl. So get ready. Turkey Bowl's coming back. If you're not familiar with the Turkey Bowl, it's a 3-man team.
I was going to say a few new noobs that don't know too much about it.
Yep. 3-man team charity event, and it's all about raising money and this year money and food. Food donations to help out some families in need during the holiday season. So
awesome.
All right. Let's get past all the HKB stuff and get into the other madness that is this season.
Everybody take a deep breath.
Here we go.
It's
about to get real. Well, let's just start. Let's just start with March and what's happening right now. And then we'll get into the individual series, I think.
Okay.
Just kicked off March 1st.
Mm-hmm.
First challenge series for KBF of the month.
Yep.
Or for the month longs. FYI, month longs are now back to a full month. If you remember, KBF.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So if you remember last year, KBF had made a change to go from the first of the month to the 21st, allowing a break there for them to get payouts and kind of reset for the next month. Right. We're back to a full month now.
Great.
So you'll have the all 4 weeks to fish, which is awesome.
I like that better. Yeah.
Also, starting March 1st, and you can still get in this, by the way, guys. I think a lot of people think that the entries ended. They took the deadline off. You can still enter up for this. Indiana Kayak Anglers paired up with major sponsor Moving Water Outfitters to do what is called the Indiana Big Bass Hunt. And I'm so pumped up about
I am too. I got my sticker last week. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So what it is it's your best 2 bass, but one's got to be a largemouth and one's got to be a smallmouth for the entire season.
So
It
cool.
ends in like October or something.
Yeah. You got all year to get the bait. Now it's the combined inches. So one largemouth, one smallie combined together gets you your total inches, and whoever's got the most between the two wins. It's
Yep.
incredible. I
Yeah.
love the idea.
Gonna be so fun. It's gonna challenge me to get out on the water
Mm-hmm.
and shoot for some of these smallmouth, which I typically don't do.
You know
know
what
what
it
I mean?
does? You know what it does? It makes pre-fishing count. It makes pre-fishing and practice, all that counts now.
It does. You're absolutely right. I love that. I
I
love that
love it.
thought because I
Yeah.
always catch my big fish in practice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, me too. Sometimes without a camera handy.
yeah. I never catch them on tournament day. So this
That's
might
right.
work for me. Or maybe I just won't catch any fish at all this year because it's a whole season of a tournament. So I don't know.
I got a feeling you're going to get a few, Sam. I think you're going to be okay.
Oh, I hope so. I snuck away today for a little bit and did not have much success. Found a lot of what I found in South Carolina, cold, muddy water.
Yeah.
So
I went to a local pond last night, and same for me. There was still ice on this pond, so yeah, there's nothing going yet. Give it a couple more weeks for me.
Yeah. I'm surprised you. So where out in the state are you again?
I'm up north. So I'm in the Wabash area. So right about an hour south of Fort Wayne. And it wasn't the pond wasn't totally iced over, but I could get the line in, but there was still ice. I had one fish. I threw my lure up on the ice and then brought it to the edge to let it drop down. And just before it dropped down, a fish came up at the ice to look at it and then swam away.
Yeah. Huh. There you go. A couple questions coming in here. I think most of them are just for people chatting in the comments. But Brock Howell asking a question here. Do you know if we'll be able to submit a smallmouth from the Grubby St. Clair event? Well, Brock, I'm going to assume not.
Yeah, I think it's all Michigan. Indiana. Yeah. Again, that's my assumption. Jason can probably clear that up, but I think that's right.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're going to let Michigan smallmouth count for an Indiana tournament. But anyway, that's going to be a fun challenge. And just a quick note, guys, you can get in at any point in time for that. There's already I think it's 100 some people.
We're over 100, I think.
Yeah, so payout's going to be amazing. On top of that, you got Moving Waters throwing in some big gift cards. So get signed up for that, guys. It's going to be a fun one. And then, staying with the theme of IKA and Grubby, kicking off the season together on Lake Monroe.
Yeah, excited about that.
That's the 20th. That's the 20th.
IKA is on the 20th, and Monroe for Grubby starts actually on the 18th. Remember, our format is a little different for all those of you that don't know much about Grubby, where we give you 5 days in most of our tournaments. You get 5 days, you pick one. And you got to pick it before the tournament starts, and you fish whatever day that is. So there's a chance for the Monroe tournament. I think it's kind of cool. I'm going to actually do this at Bluegrass for the trail and for the tournament itself. You could fish one day, kind of like pre-fishing, but fish the actual tournament for Grubby, and then do the tournament the next day for IKA. So it's really kind of a cool way to do it.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to probably fish Monday for Grubby. Yep. I'm already signed up for IKA, and I'm excited about this season for IKA. They're giving away some awesome prizes this year.
The whole state is just full of great prizes. It's incredible what the industry is doing to support kayak fishing here in this wonderful state. So yeah, IKA is a great organization. I love being in their tournaments. I'm sad about Monroe because I may have to work. I'm going to get that clarified tomorrow. So I may not be able to get down there. I know I want to be there so bad, but we'll see. I'm going to try and sweet talk the boss tomorrow.
Well, let's get into this IKA season, and let's talk a little bit about what they got going on. I'm going to share a graphic of their schedule here, if I can get it pulled up real quick. Let's see here.
And while you're doing that, IKA are 1-day tournaments that everybody goes to. And as far as we know, they're going to do that this year for all their tournaments. They're going to have everybody come to the same body of water. Whereas because of COVID last year, they had to kind of be creative at times, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So here's your Indiana Kayak Anglers longest running series in the state of Indiana, we should say. Also, here's your 2021 tournament season from Indiana Kayak Anglers. As you see there, and we've been talking about kicking off the season with Lake Monroe on March 20th. Following that up, May 1st, Lake Wawasee. That's a place where you could see some donkeys caught that time of year.
Absolutely, up here in my neck of the woods, and love that area. I've got a buddy who's a pro that fishes that a lot, so I'm gonna get some insider tips on Wawasee.
Yeah, that should be a good one. We should see that being a pre-spawn event. Yep. With some big catches, I think.
Great time of year for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're going to hear this one a lot tonight. Lake Summit. Yep. Again, the location for the state championship popping up May 22nd for Indiana Kayak Anglers.
Yep, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, but Grubby's got a series there as well. So a lot of Summit tournaments going on this year.
Yep. And then I'm going to let you try and say that one.
Oh, well, that's my backyard.
Exactly.
That is in my backyard. That is the Missinawa Lake, and that is a man-made reservoir up here off the Missinawa River, and great big fishery. And I am so excited about that one. I can't wait to fish that one this year.
Absolutely. And that's June 26th. Following that up with, I don't think we've seen a tournament here in the state of Indiana.
I'm not even sure where it's at.
Yeah, so July 17th, northwest corner of the state. You'll see it here on the graphic. It's this most western portion of the state here.
Okay. So maybe
right here,
south of Michigan City, south of Gary, kind of up in that area. Okay.
And that is the Kankakee River, which runs up into Illinois over to like the Kankakee Bourbonnais area. It's a pretty long river there, and I think this is going to be a great event. I think people are going to have a lot of fun there, trying some new water. Another, Indiana smallmouth, small river fishery. I think that we've come to know with the IKA, and guys are going to really like it. So, and then following that up, that river event with the second river event of the season, and this is probably the most historic event.
This is my year. This is my year on the White River. Yep, I'm going to do it this year.
Okay, very good. I'm saying the same thing. I'm hoping that I can be there. I do think there is a conflict that in my schedule once again, I always seem to miss this event. Really? But August 7th on the White River, this is probably has the potential to be the biggest turnout of the season. No doubt in any tournament every year. This is kind of the fan favorite.
And again, a double dip opportunity. Grubby is doing White River that same week. So
yep, absolutely.
Man,
absolutely.
The opportunities are incredible for being in tournaments this year.
There are several double and triple dips this year. That Summit Lake one is one of those, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, and then at White River wraps up the season for Indiana Kayak Anglers, and their championship to be announced on August 14th, just a week later. So they're rounding things out quick and in a hurry on August 14th.
And they do that every year. They kind of have that pretty quick, and it's usually their top, 14, 15 guys from the season?
Top 14, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you have it. Indiana Kayak Anglers, their season jam-packed with some goodies, some river events, some centrally located stuff. They're going further south than they normally have with Lake Monroe, starting things off earlier than they have. Couple other big changes for them this year. IKA did announce earlier, and they restated it last night, they are going to allow motors this year. So
I was really happy with that change. I thought that was going along with what the you're hearing from a lot of kayak anglers that
Yeah, I think it matches what we're
so,
seeing in the industry.
yeah.
Well, I do. And so rig your Torpedoes up, rig that XI3 up, your Minn Kota, get out there and fish. Some of these events, I don't know if you're going to use it on a White River or not, but Lake Monroe, very large lake, definitely see guys using it there. Wawa Sea as well, and Summit, of course, plenty of room to motor around. So pretty exciting. Now, when you talk about prizes, though, oh my goodness. Stepping it up big this year. The sponsors really pouring into the local community here. So minimum first place prize for the championship. $2,000, $2,000 minimum first place prize. Wow. That's before entry fees calculated. Minimum. That's pretty sweet, right?
That is very sweet.
Well, it gets sweeter.
Okay, let's hear it.
AOI for this series. So if you're the best, if you can beat Aiden Darlington.
Yeah, good luck with that. Was that 4 years in a row now?
I know. I've wondered if they've already completed the AOI prize package and sent it to Aiden.
They've already got his name on the plaque.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. Look, take all the prizes away. If you could just beat Aiden, that should be enough.
That should be, absolutely.
But here's what they're doing. New Canoe giving out an F10.
Oh, my.
In a limited edition color. Motor Guide providing an XI3. And Dakota Lithium powering that New Canoe XI3 combo with not only a 23 amp hour, but also 100 amp hour Dakota Lithium battery.
That is huge. Those things are amazing, and I can't believe they're just giving that away. That's
unreal.
Awesome.
Steve Martin saying, "Woo!"
Yeah,
that's right. I mean, holy cow! If you weren't already excited about IKEA, you should be now, because that's a package. That is a package. I mean, what are we looking at there? The F10, I think, is like what, 16 or 18. XI3 somewhere in that 12 to 13 range, I believe, off the top of my head. And then those two batteries alone,
those Dakota Lithiums are
over. Yeah. So that's a huge package. That's exciting.
At least $3,000 to $5,000 somewhere in there. If you had to throw out a number, that's great. Wow. Exactly. And that's going to the. Did you say the AOI?
Yeah, that's going to Aiden Darlington.
How many kayaks does the kid own?
Oh, I don't know. How many titles does the kid own?
Oh, he's incredible.
I believe he's currently holding the Crossroads Classic Championship trophy. Yeah. And several AOI titles through Indiana Kayak.
Is it bad that I want to really, really brag that I beat him in one tournament?
No, you should. Take your moment. The stage is
our Grubby Championship. That's the only time I've ever been able to beat the kid, and I still didn't have anything to show for it. So, oh well.
Hey, that's something to be proud of for sure. Though. Absolutely, absolutely something to be proud of. But yeah, man, killer kickoff right there, and we got amazing. A lot more to cover tonight. And we're gonna move right on in.
Jason Young and gang, great job. What a great
let's give those guys a shout out. Absolutely. Yeah. Jason Young, Matt Gibson, Jim Orr, all running the show out there, and then putting together what's been an amazing series for a long time now. Should we talk about Indy Nights? I think we should talk about.
Oh, absolutely. Why not?
That's Indiana, right? So if you guys aren't familiar, a new series is launching here this year in the summer. It's KFL, Kayak Fishing League.
Yep.
It's been dubbed a professional team kayak fishing league. The Indianapolis Knights, which is a team comprised of Alan Reed, Mike Elsey, Jason Cassidy, Justin Staley, Chip Romovich, Adam Murray, Grubby champion Brian Sparks, and this other guy named Sam Jones. I never heard of him, but
there's a couple hammers in that list. Holy cow.
Big names in that list,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Including yours. Give yourself some credit. That's going to be a great team.
Yeah, I can talk a good game. We'll see if I can fish. But yeah, so Indy Knights this year, they got 3 home games, 3 away games, hopefully another home game with the playoffs. But yeah, they've that's a new series, and Indy Knights will be playing out Rochester, Indiana. I always say it wrong, but I want to say Lake Manitou. Manitou.
And I say Manitou, so I'm not 100% sure. And again, that's kind of my backyard too, but I haven't never fished it, believe it or not. So
nor have I. But Mike Elsey tells me it's an amazing lake.
Yeah,
for catching fish. And it's going to put on a good show. So we're excited to host West Virginia, Detroit, and Alabama at home in Rochester, Indiana. And we're excited about that. I'm not going to share that schedule. We've already done a podcast on that. You guys can go back and check that out, or check us out at Indy Knights. But that's something exciting, something you guys can watch. Those games are going to be broadcasted. So
can I bring my pom-poms and be a cheerleader?
Oh, please.
Okay.
Please do that.
And everybody just got freaked out by that image, so that's okay.
I think everyone got excited.
Rah, goes Sam. Give me an S. Give me an A.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh man. Another new series here in Indiana this year. IKT.
Yeah.
Indiana Kayak Trail.
Part of the MKT, right?
Yeah, Michigan Kayak Trail. Kind of they're expanding. And what's great about this is Northern Indiana has really never had a dominant presence in the tournament space. Mm-hmm. Indiana kayak anglers up until now has always kind of serviced that central to northern portion, but we've never had a dedicated series like in the South. We've had 2 or 3 or more,
right?
But never up there. So it's really cool to see that Todd Anderson bringing that trail to northern Indiana. And we're going to share that schedule here with you guys if I can get it pulled up here.
The only one I remember is I know they're going to be at Webster, but they're at a couple other places as well. I'm going to try and do the Webster one.
Let's see here. Am I sharing?
Not yet.
Let's see. There we go.
Yep.
So here we have the newest series, Indiana Kayak Trail. And they're going to start off in Michigan. They made a change here because they had Paddle and Finn was having a tournament, and their tournaments were like the same day, 10 minutes apart. So they're going to kind of change the location of this first event, May 15th on the Coldwater chain of lakes in Michigan, not too far out. And
it's just over the state line.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Just over the state line. And we're going to start there, and then they're going to Hamilton Lake, then Webster Lake, which I've heard is a really good lake.
I've never great lake. I fished it a couple times. Got some friends with a cabin on there. Good lake. Can be stingy, but if you know where to go and know what to fish, there's some big ones in there.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard it's got some surprisingly large fish.
Yep.
So, and then their championship, I am not familiar with Burton Mullet Lakes. I do not believe that. I think that's another Michigan.
I think it is too. It's the first I've heard of that. But I think you're right.
So though their championship and by the way, their championship is kind of a joint event with all of their different series, Topwater, Indiana Kayak Trail, and Michigan Kayak Trail, I believe, all in there. And so what we're going to do here, so Indiana Kayak Anglers, we're going to take AOI and a champion for the state championship. For this series, we're just going to take the AOI of the series.
Okay.
For this one, because it is a joint championship held outside the state, we really can only take the AOI from this event.
So those 3 tournaments there make up the season. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So we're going to take the highest ranking angler from those 3 events.
Great.
So that is the new one right there. And I'm excited about that for our northern folks.
Mike Anderson, I think, is
Yes.
the director, and he's a great guy. I got to talk to him briefly on another podcast, and he's put together a heck of a series up there with all 3 of those groups.
He has absolutely. And man, that Topwaters, they've got some amazing broadcasts that they put out, an amazing podcast.
I'm not jealous at all.
Yeah.
Not jealous at all. Mm-hmm.
No, they're doing it. They're doing it good. So, hey, George Nemeth chiming in here.
Hey, George.
Looking forward.
That's right. I forgot he's on a competing team.
He is. Yeah. He is on a competing team. And I'm excited to go out there and fish against them on the beautiful Lake St. Clair and have them come visit us as well.
I'll mention George real quick. He took over for me as tournament director in one of the Grubby series this year. So we'll talk about Noah in a few minutes. But he's excited. He's doing a great job.
Yep, absolutely. Austin bringing in an awesome comment here. Pretty sure if you live anywhere in the state of Indiana, you can find a tournament within an hour.
Oh, with everything we're talking about today, absolutely.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. So IKT, that's the new series. Unfortunately, Cassin, for you Cassin people, Kayak English Southern Indiana, will not be around for 2021. They will not have a season or a schedule this year in the state. So we kind of lost one, gained one. But
I hadn't heard that. So they made that decision this year. Okay.
Yep. So I think that is official now. And but that's okay because there's still plenty of events in the southern part of the state. Right. And we'll get into our most southern club now, which is SIAC, Southern Indiana Yak Anglers Club. Probably, I would say, not probably, the second longest running club in the state of Indiana currently.
Yep. I believe that is accurate.
Yeah. And they do a lot of, a little bit different in this one. They have online challenges like month-longs.
Okay.
They have a charity event.
Yep.
They have weekend events and on-site events.
Yep.
So a little bit different. And I'm going to pull their...
A nocturnal event too, right?
And a nocturnal event. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to pull them up here real quick, and we can go over this.
Nice.
So Southern Indiana Yak English Club starting off their season with the TFO, which is the Fallen Outdoors charity event. Mm-hmm. This is a month-long event throughout the state of Indiana, public waters. For those of you that are new to the sport, when we have month-long events, it's always public waters only. Yep. Okay. Typically that's defined in the rules for kayak bass fishing. So check those out if you want some more details on that.
So the little pond behind Uncle Jed's house, that ain't going to cut it?
No, not for this.
Public. Okay. Got it.
Now, if you want to get on and like fish some of those other online challenges and those apps and stuff that allow that, go for it. But for these events, that's not going to cut it.
Nope, it's not.
And then we're going to Patoka Lake. That's the first live event, single day event, April 25th. Pumped up about this one.
Yep, and we'll hear that name again later on. Again, these lakes are pumping out some great fisheries.
Absolutely. And another lake we've already heard a couple times, Summit Lake, May 22nd. That is their second live event, single day event. Then June 27th, changing it up. Yeah. Previous years, the river event for SIAC has been around I think it's the Blue River, Columbus area. Right. I've never fished that event. I know that's been a fun event for years, but this year they're changing it up a little bit, going to Sugar Creek, and hanging out and floating down the creek there. So
yeah, lots of good smallie opportunities there.
Yeah, trophy smallmouth fish right here in the state of Indiana. And I know a lot of people are going to be excited about that. That seems to always be kind of the fun get together, float with your friends. You know, if we allowed you to drink a beer in tournaments, you'd be drinking a beer kind of event. Yeah. It's never been too serious. And that's one of the things I like about SIAC is they have these fun type events like that.
Yep.
July 11th, going to the Bass Factory, which is West Boggs. Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest fish in the state come out of there, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, whopping 13 inches will get you a big bass there.
Yeah.
No, we have seen. So there was a time that was true. There was a time this was a trophy fishery.
Yeah.
There were some things that happened as far as management. It is coming back. We're seeing rapid growth of these fish. And there were some big ones caught in grassroots bass yakin competition last year. But another thing I love about what SIAC's doing here is they're putting you on bodies of water at the right time.
Right.
You do not want to be at Patoka in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
You want to be there in the spring. That's when you're there.
Yep.
You don't want to have a river tournament in spring. Too likely it's going to get washed out. Summit Lake right around the spawn. And West Boggs, though you're not going to go out and have a bunch of big fish, it's a lake where you can catch numbers. Yeah. And that's the kind of event you want to have in late summer, where you can still go out and catch some fish and have a good time. So great job with the admins there, Matt Kiefer, Thomas McNulty, Alan Reed, Kevin Biggs, doing a great job putting this schedule together. August 5th and 8th, a little bit different than what you see in other tournament series. This is a nighttime event. You pick, it's a weekend event. You pick, I think I got the dates wrong there. I'm not sure. I might be 5th and 6th, not 8th.
Okay.
I think it's you pick one night or the other, like Friday night or Saturday night.
Oh, that's the Friday, Saturday one.
Yeah. So I apologize if I have that wrong.
Like a 24-hour, is that what it is?
Yeah. And then, okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at it wrong. The dates, everything's correct on the screen. I just said it wrong. Okay. August 5th and 8th is the weekend brawl.
Gotcha.
Okay. That tournament is for those 3 days. You have that entire length of that tournament to catch your best 5.
Is that again throughout the whole state?
Yep, that's statewide. Very similar to a month-long challenge. It's just a shortened event. So that's the weekend brawl, August 5th and 8th. Sorry for the confusion there. 5th through the 8th. Sorry for the confusion on that, guys.
And that would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yep, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4-day event. And that's always a fun one. Gets a great turnout. And then August 20th and 21st is the nocturnal event. Yep. So you'll pick which night you want to fish. And I think last year we did it from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. or 7 to 7.
That sounds right.
And it's a 12-hour event. I fished 3 lakes last year during that 12 hours. And that's a really fun event to do as well. And then they are finishing out their season with a championship on Bluegrass Pit. And man, oh man, is this going to be a slugfest.
I have never fished bluegrass. I'm going to for the first time this year because our trail is there. So I'm going down there for the first time. I've heard some stories. I can't wait to see what bluegrass is like. So September 18th through the 19th.
Yeah, it's going to be a slugfest. I'm telling you right now, some of the biggest bass will be caught out of that area this year, and it's going to be fun. 14 anglers, I think, for this one as well, and you get to fish against the best in the club at one of the best lakes in the state. So that's pretty awesome.
Reigning champ is who? I know AOI was McNulty, right?
Yep, Thomas McNulty with an amazing breakout year, if you will.
Year for him.
Just dominating the series. I think the only thing he didn't win was the championship, and that went to tournament director, crappie sensation Matt Kiefer.
Wow.
Great question from Steve Martin here. How many events towards SIAC AOI? It's your best 5 out of 7.
Yep.
And then for IKA, I think it's your best 4.
That's what I was going to say.
I could be wrong on that, but I believe it is your best 4. Honestly, I'm not sure about IKT, how they're running things. We're going to have a podcast about them specifically here after a while.
Right.
But yeah, there's your SIAC, man.
It's getting exciting.
It's again, so many tournaments to fish, and so many different opportunities and types of tournaments to fish. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. All right. Whew. Are you ready for bed yet?
Hey, I'm wide awake. This
You're
has
wide
got
awake?
my blood pumping. I'm got visions of catching mega bass on whopper ploppers. I'm ready to go.
Very good. So what's your first event? What you signed up for first this year?
My first event is the bluegrass and the grubby event, and that is March 25th through the 28th. And the trail, our new trail, is going to be there this year. So I'm signed up to do kind of like I explained earlier. I'm going to do I've never fished it before, so I'm going down on a Thursday night. Friday, I'm going to fish kind of pre-fishing, but I'm actually going to fish the trail, or I can't remember how I signed up now. I'm either fishing the trail or the actual tournament on Friday. And then on Saturday, I'm going to fish the other one. So I'm either doing the bluegrass tournament day on Friday and the trail series on Saturday, or vice versa. I can't remember, but I'm going to try it that way. A lot of guys are doing them both on the same day. But that's my first one and first time I've ever been down there. So I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is you can, on most weeks, fish if you wanted to 4, 5 events in a 5-day period.
Yeah.
You know, you
in this
from
state, yes.
From Thursday to Monday, you could literally most weeks fish 4 events, 5 events. It's nuts.
Grubby alone's going to have 3 or 4 a week, and then
exactly
add all the other state series in with that. It's incredible the opportunities you're going to have. So,
and what's even more amazing is with all of these series and all of these tournaments, there's not more overlap and more conflicts. That's a testament to the admin group in this state. They've worked very, very well together to avoid those conflicts, double up on tournaments, and have an amazing season planned for us all.
I was a part of a lot of those conversations for Grubby, and yeah, we worked hand in hand with all the series trying to make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. KBF Challenge Series, and then we're going to get into Grubby.
Yep.
KBF Challenge Series, it's been around forever. It's basically what started this obsession we all have with tournament kayak bass fishing. Guys, if you can't get to a tournament, but you can fish a couple hours during the weeknight, get out on a weekend here and there, and you still want to compete, the KBF Challenge Series is the way to do that. Including the new Big Bass Hunt. Same thing. You can fish anytime throughout the course of the season. But the KBF Challenge Series, amazing opportunity. We've got like the 2nd or 3rd most anglers in the country signed up right now in Indiana. I mean, we're competing against the southern states that got warm weather, and you can win some decent money.
What does that say about Indiana?
That's what I'm saying.
We just had 15 inches of snow on the ground 2 weeks ago. Holy cow.
Lake Summit still had slush on it yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So only half the state has fishable water at this point, and we have like the 2nd or 3rd most signed up.
Oh my.
And that's a regular thing for us. So guys, check out the KBF Challenge Series. Get onto the Fishing Chaos app. Become a KBF member. Jump in these events because you're going to be fishing all your other tournaments. If you have a good couple days, you have an opportunity to not only win some money, but qualify for the KBF National Championship.
Which is where this year?
It's going to be in Shreveport, Louisiana, Red River area. Going back there. You also have an opportunity to qualify for the same time period, the KBF Challenge Series Championship. By the way, the money involved in those 2 events, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like crazy payouts. I've heard some rumors of some massive payout potential this year, exceeding what we saw previous years. So,
Wow.
guys, get signed up for those events. You do have to sign up before the first of every month. So, you got to sign up before the first to get in on those. And it runs the entire month long. Your best 5 fish, call them out as many times as you want.
Clarifying question. If I remember correctly, KBF is the only series in Indiana, the Challenge Series, that's allowing the hog trough. Am I saying that right? Or are there any other series allowing the hog trough? Because I think it's the Challenge Series is allowing it, not the regular KBF series. But
correct. So the
okay,
challenge series
but that's
does
going to
still
change at some point.
this does still allow, the hog chop. Everything else catch only.
Just get a catch board.
Yeah, American
That's
made.
my message. Get
Yeah.
a catch board.
So
I've
great
had that
point.
question come up. Can I still use my hog trough? I think that's about the only series that you can is that challenge series for now. And I got a feeling they're going to change that next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I see that changing. And honestly, it's not even something I've thought about because I don't know why you wouldn't have a catch board. You know, now they have the carbonate, so the expense issue is kind of thrown out the window.
Yep.
They got the Catch X board, the original. They're all great. By the way, great point to make that all series in Indiana are catch only. So jump on, get you a catch board, and
I say that for all the noobs because I know that's the question that comes up. They'll
Yep.
see the hog troughs on there at that attractive price and think, oh, I'll get one of those. You'll be able to fish the challenge series, but that's about it. And I would definitely go catch board.
Absolutely. Let's
Duke's,
see here.
Duke's been good to all of us here in Indiana, so we want to make sure he gets all the credit he deserves there.
Absolutely. Huge supporter of the Turkey Bowl, the state championship, huge kayak bassin, and everything here in the state of Indiana.
Yep.
So absolutely. Thank you for putting that shout out there. We got some comments rolling in, guys. We're going to try and get to these here in a minute, but let's keep things rolling. We've got, last but not least, your club, if you will, your home club, your home group. You're the voice of this group.
Yeah. Sometimes I think they'd rather get a different voice occasionally when I say the controversial things, but
no, everyone loves the voice of Bob Grubby Talk, Brian Spray. But it's right there behind you, Grassroots Bass Yakking, coming back for season number 3. And man, oh man, has this thing blown up.
It has. I remember 2 years ago, our first state championship for Grubby, and it was just Indiana at the time. I was one of 6 guys in that championship. 6. Last year, we had, I know we had 70 some qualify. I think we ended up with 60 some in the championship.
A ton.
Yeah. And, yeah. And some lucky guy got 1 spot out of the money. I wonder who that was. He's not bitter at all. But I was checking the other day. I mean, we've exploded to 800-900 people, I think, on our Facebook page. Love all the new people joining. It's just been fun to watch the growth of this sport and, of course, Grubby. And I think it's just that grassroots feel. A lot of people appreciate having the 5 days opportunity to fish, and you're right, it has really grown. So I'm excited to be a part of this group.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit more before we pop this schedule up, because Grassroots Bass Yakking, or Grubby as we call it, is a little bit different. Yeah. So the best thing to compare it to is on the boat side, there's a series called USA Bassin.
Right.
But let's assume people watching have no idea what USA Bassin is. So basically what Grassroots Bass Yakking is doing is, rather than like the other clubs we've talked about tonight, having a singular schedule, hitting multiple different bodies of water, Grubby has several individual series on particular bodies of water. So, for example, Bluegrass, Monroe, White River, which is a new one this year.
Yep.
These all have their own AOI. They all have Angler of the Year. They all have 5 different events or more in some cases.
That's 11 different bodies of water in Indiana.
Yeah, so
that
that's
we're doing that
11
this
little
year.
tournament
Yep.
series.
Yep.
Which is awesome. It gives everyone an opportunity to fish close to home and travel if they want to travel. But the other thing that's cool about it is rather than a single day tournament, you get to pick one of 5 days, is it? Yeah,
Yeah,
Thursday.
in most of the tournaments. I forget which one is a little different. It might be West Box. I can't remember for sure. But all of them, almost all of them are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You choose which day. Now you got to choose it before the tournament starts. And once the tournament starts, you're locked into that day. So if you say I can go fish the tournament on Friday, that's the day you pick, and you fish that day. There might be some other anglers joining you on that day, but everyone will fish one of those 5 days, and then whoever has the most inches of their top 5 fish after those 5 days. So on Monday at 4:00, we'll know who the winner is of each of those series. And I said there are 11 series. I think it's 10 in Indiana, with St. Clair being one, which is Michigan. And then we got 4 in Illinois.
Yeah. So we're going to cover just the Indiana series tonight, guys.
Yep.
You can find the Illinois series by joining the Grassroots Bass Yackin group page for Indiana or Illinois. They got it on both. We will address Lake St. Clair. It's kind of that standoff one. We will address that tonight as well, though. But like you said, several individual series, and this year new is the Grubby Trail, which is going to run in conjunction with these other tournaments. But talk a little bit about the thought process behind this.
Shout out to Jim Strunk. This is his brainchild, and he actually the whole organization is his brainchild. By the way, Papa Strunk is the one that came up with this wonderful idea of doing grassroots bass yacking and keeping it for the grassroots guy, the guy that has to work 70 hours a week. This is an opportunity. If you can't fish on a Saturday, you can fish another day. So anyway, he came up with that idea. The trail was his idea as well, and so what we're doing is we have 6 stops on the trail, and it's going to be at our existing locations. So one of our existing locations, so we're picking 6 of those out of the 14 different locations that we have for series this year. So the trail itself starts at Bluegrass. So like I said, that March 25th through 29th date, not only can you fish the Bluegrass series and potentially get points for the AOY there, you can also fish the GRBY trail and potentially get points for the trail. We will have our own trail AOY as well. And the other stops are St. Clair in April, Monroe in May, Newton, Illinois, one of the Illinois lakes in June, Summit, which we've talked about in July, and then the White River finishes up the trail series. That week for White River is incredible. I think it's 3 or 4 possibilities of being in tournaments, including Grubby and IKA and the trail series, and I don't know who all else that week, but it's incredible what tournaments you can possibly win. What I wonder what it would be like for one person to win all of those.
Yeah, I mean, and very possible that someone may. And I think Summit's another one where there's a bunch of there's some double, maybe triple dipping on that one as well. So like you said, some awesome opportunities, and this is hard to see on the screen, guys. I apologize because there's so many of them. The print's small here, but here are the series. You've got Bluegrass Fish and Wildlife area, which if you're familiar with that area, it's got a ton of bodies of water on it, but you're limited to the Bluegrass Pit and Loon. Those are the only 2 pits available this year for that. Which is great because that's where I can't imagine why you'd want to fish anything else in a tournament anyway. Brookville Lake, that's a new one for this season. Brush Creek, not far from Brookville. Brush Creek Reservoir, another new one this season.
Not familiar with that. I think is that closer down to like maybe the Cincinnati area.
No, that's you take 65 straight south and
it's south. Okay, down to the state
yeah,
line area. Okay,
it's not too far.
Haven't been
too
there
far
yet.
off. That's a small body of water. That is a tiny body of water when you think about tournament fishing. But because of this or of the Grubby format and spreading guys out over the course of those 5 days, it's not going to be a problem at all.
Yep.
And there's some big fish caught out of there every year.
That's what I'm hearing.
Lake Monroe, I think probably the most popular series last year, coming back this season with what is it? 6 events. 6 events.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
I'm super pumped up for this one. I got to try and go after that AOY again. I was robbed of it last year. Adam Murray taking the title, kicking my butt.
You got second?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
Tell me this.
Yes.
How do you win 2 events in the series and I don't even think I fished top 5 AOI.
I don't know.
One,
those others must have been pretty bad.
Stink up all the others. And 2, you're fishing against some of the best and most consistent anglers in the state. That's how that happens. So if you are a competitive angler and you like big lake fishing and you like a challenge, this is the event, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is the series.
This is the one that gets a lot of talk on the Facebook page for Grubby. Lots of people jawing back and forth about who's going to win it. This is an interesting one. And it was a challenge last year. There were a lot of people who are hammers that went there and did not do well on certain days. And yet then they turn around and do great the next tournament. So yeah, Monroe is a challenge. Good luck. I haven't figured Monroe out yet.
Get there, especially if you're only going to fish 2 events the whole series.
Yeah,
fish April and May.
Yep,
those are the 2 you want to be at. March, depending on what happens the next couple weeks, could be really good.
Yeah,
but April and May will be lights out. All right, moving on. Nyona South Mud coming back. That's one of the more northern ones, or was the most northern one up until Lake St. Clair.
Correct.
But in Indiana, that's our most northern. Great couple fisheries right there. Check that one out. You're going to have a good time. For sure, you're going to catch a lot of fish.
Absolutely. And wherever you do, don't go fish South Mud. It's horrible. There's no fish there.
No fish there. Don't even waste your time.
Just go to Nyona. Yeah.
I think Brian wants mud to himself.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Raccoon Lake coming back. Another great lake here in the state of Indiana. It can be really fun. And then not in Indiana, but we'll briefly discuss it. Lake St. Clair, new series for Indiana, because it's the only one and it's so close to Indiana. We got that included in here. A lot of guys from Indiana want to travel up for that. We will not be giving away an AOI spot to the state championship for this event. Obviously, it's Hoosier Kayak Bassin. It's Indiana.
Sure.
This is not an Indiana event, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't travel up there and fish in it, because it's a trophy fishery and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And we got a lot of guys talking about going.
A lot of guys. Yeah. It's going to have great turnouts. Let's see. Who's the tournament director for that one again? Cole
Garland.
Cole Garland.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had him on a couple.
Angler guy.
He was down with me at Sun Valley a couple weeks ago. Talked all about St. Clair, and he is. Have you seen his arms? The man is he's built.
How does he cast?
I don't know. I think it's from lifting all those big smallies.
Must be.
And muskies.
Moving on, we got Sullivan Lake. Man, this one was dominated last year. And there's a bunch of people, going after AOI on this one as well. A lot of buzz here.
Yep.
This one last year kind of because of COVID kind of got, a little bit messed up. We had to start out the season at Bass Lake, Green Sullivan State Forest. How unfortunate was that?
Yep.
And then finally finished up in Sullivan. But this year it looks like we'll be Sullivan all the way. Very excited about that series. I'm going to try and hit that one up myself.
Yep.
Another newcomer.
I'm going to try and do a couple of them.
Yep. Another newcomer this year, Summit Lake. We've talked a lot about tonight.
Yep.
West Boggs with 6 events.
Yep.
That was another favorite last year. Plenty of fish catching opportunity. I made one last year. I'm going to try and make a couple more this season. And then last year we had Sugar Creek, moving it to the best smallmouth fishery in the state.
If I had a goal for which series I want to be AOY, it's White River. I really want to be Niona as well. I want to be both. Is that possible? Can I win both AOY and both of those?
I think you can win AOY on all of these if you want.
I could.
If you want to fish them all.
I won't, but I could. I would have the opportunity. White River, I'm really excited about that being a part of Grubby this year.
Yeah, I do think White River has the potential to kind of overthrow Lake Monroe in popularity. Yeah. I think Lake Monroe will grow in popularity this year, but I think White River will definitely draw a big crowd. A lot of people are going to be excited about this huge group of grubby anglers in the central part of the state, and kayak anglers just happen to love small rivers and large or smallmouth. So this is going to be big. And I'm excited about that one. Then the Grubby Trail, we talked about that right off the top. And then finally, last but not least, and this is an outdated schedule, guys. There's a more updated one. I found out coming into the broadcast that I did not have the most updated version. And the championship has been announced now.
Yep.
And that is going to be on the historic Lake Patoka.
Yeah. Never fished it. Have you ever been there?
Oh yeah. Fished there many times.
Everyone I talked to has been there. Yeah, that's what I know. A lot of bass boat guys up here, and they have already given me some tips for Patoka. So the championship seems to kind of be where I shine a little bit, and I actually catch fish. So I'm hoping that will happen again this year. So we'll see.
It's bittersweet for me.
Yeah,
as a part of the Indy Knights team. Our championship for the league is the same weekend.
Oh,
so
no.
I really want to be at the Grubby Championship, and we're going to talk about why. But of course, I also want to win the KFL league.
Yeah.
But if there's any way I can somehow talk the KFL into moving it, if we qualify, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Try, because you only have to fish 4 events.
And you qualify for this thing.
And there's some massive prizes.
Let me clarify the qualification. That means 4 you fit, and just fit. You don't have to place. You don't have to win. You just have to fish 4 events in the same series. So if you are fishing the Niona South Mud Series and you fish 4 of those events, you qualify for the championship. Same with Bluegrass, same with White River, Raccoon, all those. So fish 4 out of the same series and you qualify. Last year we had over 70 people qualify, and I think we had 60 some that were in the championship. I got a feeling we're going to be even bigger this year.
So just to drive that point home one more time. So if I go to Sullivan Lake,
right,
and I get my butt handed to me all season long by Joe Wallach.
Yeah. Oh, and you probably will. Let's face it. Joe knows what he's doing there.
Yeah. He's the Aiden Darlington of IKA at Sullivan for Grubby.
Yeah.
But if he whoops me all season long, I finish in last place all season long, I still qualify for the championship?
Well, as you fish 4 of them, you got it.
All right. I love it.
All right.
There's hope for me.
And here you were talking about prizes from IKA, and every group has amazing prizes, and Grubby is no exception. We have some amazing prizes this year for our championship. First of all, AOYs for all the series are going to be winning things. We have sponsors for every series, and you're going to win something for being AOY. You might even win something for winning individual tournaments. So there's prizes all from, I can't list all the sponsors and all the prizes, are so many. But when we get to the championship, if you haven't heard about this, Oh my goodness. Qualify for the championship just for random chances you might win, because we're going to have drawings. We're going to have incredible prizes. The winner of the championship, oh, I get goosebumps. I don't know if you heard, I got a Hobie this year. So I've owned it for 2 weeks. It's been in a barn. I haven't even gotten it out yet, but I'm excited. And we're giving one away, a PA 14 from Sun Valley. We're giving away this Hobie PA 14. That goes to the winner of the championship this year at Patoka, along with tons of other stuff. So that's one. How many kayaks is that?
That's one.
That's one. All right.
There's more?
There's more. Then we're also giving away another pedal kayak from Midwest in a drawing, I believe. I forget all the details. Please forgive me. I think Second Cast Outfitters is giving us that. We're giving away a second kayak. How many kayaks is that?
That's two. There's
two
more.
pedal kayaks, right?
Yes.
Two pedal drive kayaks. Then all season long, you get a chance to be a Hoodoo Hammer of the Week at your different tournaments by getting a big bass from that tournament. If you get to be a Hoodoo Hammer of the Week and get into that, you're entered into a drawing for a third pedal kayak from Hoodoo at the championship. We're giving away 3 freaking kayaks.
Wow.
All pedal drives. I've never been part of a group that's doing that. And that's not it. I'm not even sure those are the best prizes. On the Water Innovations, you know what they do.
They innovate.
Yes, they do. Some of the best trailers in the market. A $5,000 value trailer is being given away at the championship by drawing as well. Those are just the big, humongous prizes. We've got tons of other opportunities to win things. It's been so much fun doing Grubby Talk, because every week I've had something new to announce. It's like I think everybody's getting tired of me saying it. So I got a big announcement at the end of the show tonight. Make sure you stay tuned. Well, this is why we're giving tons of stuff away. So really excited about that. Cole Ritter, Jim Strunk have done an amazing job of coming up with our sponsors, working with them to provide these things to give away. But yes, Steve, I'm going to take Brock's name out of the drawing. Absolutely, he wins everything. So absolutely, we're really looking forward to giving all those things away, and I can't wait for the championship, man. It's gonna be exciting.
Justin Staley's asking here, multiple entries for multiple big bass wins.
If he's talking about the Hoodoo Hammer, yes. If you win, let's say, who was that? Was that Justin Staley? Yeah. I forget what series he usually fishes, but let's say
Monroe.
Okay, so let's say he wins Monroe in March, and then he fishes again in May, and he wins it in May. And not wins it, but he gets the big bass each week. So he would have 2 entries. So it's each time you get the big bass for that particular week of tournaments at that location, you could have multiple entries. So yeah, there might be somebody with 3 or 4 entries for the Hoodoo kayak. So
opportunity in the state of Indiana right now to potentially win with Grubby and IKA. 4 kayaks up for grabs this year in the state of Indiana.
And if Aiden wins all 4 of them, I quit.
Oh, goodness. It's entirely possible, too.
Oh, man. I'm tired. Okay, to clarify, I probably did say something direct. It's directly from Midwest. We're just handling it. Right. And that is what I was trying to say. They're going to have the kayak there, and it'll be given away through second chance, and we appreciate Midwest for donating that kayak.
Absolutely, that's awesome. Moral of the story, guys, is you can fish a lot in Indiana, and you can win a lot of stuff in Indiana for being a great angler. And you can also win a lot of stuff in Indiana for just showing up at events.
Absolutely.
SIAC always does a great job as well of having handouts at every tournament, live tournament, and at the state or at the championship for their anglers. I know they're working on some great prizes from sponsors like TRC Covers and B&O Power and others as well. Those are just a couple that I know of.
So many sponsors through the whole state.
Yeah, I mean, I
incredible.
think we have, and of course, I'm probably a little partial and biased, but I think we have the greatest community in all of kayak fishing here in the state of Indiana. And I think we have some of the biggest supporters as well, and brands. And of course, we can't even mention them all tonight.
No.
But, definitely a lot going on. Guys, if you want to get involved in these tournaments, a couple different ways to do that. One, every series we talked about has a group. With the exception of IKT, I don't think they've launched a group page for that yet or not, but Michigan Kayak Trails Topwater does.
Yeah.
But you can go on Facebook, type in Southern Indiana Yak Anglers Club. There's a group. Type in Grassroots Bass Yakin. There's two groups, Indiana chapter, Illinois chapter. You can type in Indiana Kayak Anglers. They've got a Facebook page and a group. You can get all this information always from us here at Hoosier Kayak Bassin.
I was going to say, you can go through one location to get to all those, right?
You can.
Yeah.
Join all those individual communities, but definitely join our community. We have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a YouTube, and a Facebook group. The Hoosier Kayak Bassin website, which is HoosierKayakBassin.com. Pretty simple, right?
Yep.
We keep it the same everywhere at Hoosier Kayak Bassin. Will be back up. We're going to launch it with the state championship next week.
Okay.
Tons of resources there, clickable links to tournaments, podcasts from all other podcasts in the state, resources, angler profiles, everything, all in one location. Check it out. And then, of course, anything to do with KBF, you're going to find on Fishing Chaos. All other series in the state of Indiana do run through TourneyX Management System, which is an app you can download, or you go to tourneyx.com and find all of these events. It's really simple. You go to the tournament section, you search IKA, boom, it'll pop up. Search GRBY, boom, it'll pop up. SIYAK, SIYAK, SIYA.
Yeah,
It's late.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah. Search that. Tournaments are going to pop up. You can also search by lake name too. So if you're like, hey, I want to fish Summit this year, what can I fish? Check those out, guys. That's all there. Of course, this podcast will be here for you to reference. If you need anything, feel free to message me, message Brian, message any of the admins we've mentioned tonight, and you can get involved in these tournaments.
Can I mention one more thing?
Please.
Jeremiah Thompson is one of our admins, and he's done an incredible job this week of spearheading on our Facebook page some resource videos about, if you're new to the sport, being able to figure out all the ins and outs of the rules, and doing CPR, which is catch, photo, release, using the catch board, all that stuff. And that's on our website. I think you have resources that help with that as well. And the stuff's out there. Do your homework before you go to these tournaments so that you do it right and have the most fun you can possibly have. The resources out there, and we've got plenty of people. Cole Ritter, Jim Strunk, Jeremiah Thompson, all of our admins are doing a great job. You guys are doing a great job, and getting those resources out there. So make sure you do some research and be ready for the season.
Awesome, man. Thank you for everything you guys are doing over there at Grubby. Guys, if you don't know, Brian, I mentioned it a couple times tonight, but Brian is known as the voice of Grubby Talk. Grubby Talk is another podcast here in the state of Indiana covering everything to do with grassroots, bass yakking, tournament recaps, upcoming events, talking to sponsors, anglers, partners. Amazing show every Sunday, generally at 6 p.m. Sometimes it changes.
Yep, most of the time it's 6. Yep.
6 p.m. Amazing guest all the time on there. Love watching it. Love seeing it grow. So if you haven't checked that out, please go jump on there. They can find you on Anchor FM, Google, YouTube. All of it.
Yep.
Just like you can HKB podcast. So check out what Brian's doing over there. get involved in this amazing kayak community. Get involved with Grubby. And man, thank you so much for coming on tonight and helping me unbox this
Anytime, man.
crazy jam-packed season.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much, and shout out to you. Grubby Talk's graphics are incredible because of you, man. So I appreciate all the work you've done to help us out with that, and thank you so much for being a big part of what Grubby Talk is.
Awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to help you guys out with that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Thanks again for tonight. I'm going to let you bounce out of here, and I'm going to close this thing up. So thank you. Go get some rest.
I'm going to bed.
All right. Good night,
Good night,
buddy.
y'all. Bye-bye.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, if you would, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, go ahead and drop those. Before I close this thing out real quick, I do want to give another shout out to tonight's show sponsor, which is King Angler Rods, Kyle King, handcrafted, American-made, high-quality rods. Check them out, King Angler, Facebook, Instagram, and we'll link his website for you in the description. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll also have it on our Facebook and Instagram profiles, so you guys can check those out as well. Man, I appreciate Brian jumping on with me so much tonight because there's a lot to talk about. And if I was just rambling through it all, it would have been a lot more difficult. So huge shout out to Brian. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Next week is all about the state championship, guys. Thursday, we're going to have a podcast like normal, but we're going to kind of preview what's going to happen Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to talk about the anglers involved. We're going to talk about some of the sponsors and prizes. So make sure to tune in for that, give you an idea what you're playing for. All of these tournaments and series we talked about tonight can help you qualify for next year's state championship. Thousands of dollars in product and prizes, cash payouts will be available for that. So make sure you guys are fighting to get in that event. It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to see that. So that's next week. Please like, comment, share. Help us grow this community. Help us grow your club, your series. Best way to do that is bring more exposure to what we're doing so we can bring more exposure to you. Let's see if there's any comments here. And if not, we're going to close this thing out. So a couple comments here, just some thanks and some kudos, and we appreciate that, guys. The hammer, that is Joe. Steve Martin, tournament director for the Monroe Series, FYI, for Grubby. Austin jumping in there. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. We're all pumped for this season, man. It's going to be a good one. Can't wait to see you on the water, guys. Billy, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. And Justin, you got it, man. Literally any weekend you can get into a tournament. Also, thoughts and prayers going out to Justin Staley and his family. Lost a loved one this past weekend. We're thinking about you, buddy, and thank you for watching. And, like I said, thoughts and prayers to you and your family as you deal with the loss of this loved one. So thanks, everyone, for watching. That is the end of another HKB podcast. We'll be back next week for the state championship. Tune in, check us out, and we will see you all very, very soon. Thanks.